People are just really excited about Sustainachella. Everyone's signing in early. We just got another message.
Broadcast, good. Okay.
I guess that's a good thing. It's a great thing.
All right, Gabby, hopefully Gabby will join us shortly. And can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Was Manny, guys. That's what happened. I asked him to join at 12 and to register instead of just joining. Chat, I'm going to leave the chat open. All right, I'm going to share my presentation and I'm going to try one more time. Can you guys see it?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see. Can you guys hear?
Yes.
No?
Yes, yes, yes.
Betsy, you're the only one that can hear the music.
Oh, I can't hear the music. I can hear you.
Oh, so no music.
No music. There we go.
Yay. I cannot have my headphones. That's the problem. Yeah. I'll leave 2 minutes.
Music licensing reimagined.
This is pretty long, so I'm going to move to again. All right. And then good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining. See, that's what happens. Every time I try to move the slide, it starts playing the song again. So I'll just have to be careful with that. That I have to keep playing the song and then move the slide. All right, and then I'll move the slide. And then while we give a few minutes for folks to join, we're going to start warming up the chat. And the question today is going to be, what uplifting songs and bands have you been listening to? So please, guys, share what uplifting bands or songs you've been listening in the chat. And then we'll have, we'll give a look at it.
Yanni, it's Amanda. Can you make me the host, please?
Oh, and Gabby's there. Good. Okay.
Hey, Amanda. It's Betsy.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, good.
Can I promote the Spotify from the band shell?
Yeah, please do so. We got a good amount of clicks on it, so it was the first one that we did, so we'll see how that went. But from what Brandy told me, she has other ones like lined up, ready to go. So yesterday was the first one.
Okay, awesome. So I'm gonna mention that at the beginning.
Awesome, thank you so much.
And is that the city? Does the city have the account? Or
yeah, it's our account. So what we're trying to do now is that Brandy will be utilizing Euro Symphony, the Fillmore, all of our cultural institutions, and they will be creating playlists for us. And then so that's the idea, that they curate it for us.
And the first one is the band shell.
And the first one was the North Beach band shell. I don't know actually, and I'm gonna find out for the future if it was like bands that performed at the band shell kind of thing, or if it was just like what they like to listen to. That I actually don't know that answer to. But yeah, so yesterday was the first one.
Awesome.
Hopefully it's every Wednesday when we send out our cultural email, but obviously we'll see how that goes. And then Brandy and I talked about doing this even after Corona, so I think it'll be a cool thing to just kind of keep going.
Awesome, good.
Thanks, Amanda. All right, so guys, once I move to the partners slide, I'm going to introduce everyone, so you guys can say hi, say something, and then I'll move. Gabby will be the last one that I present. And here, Gabby, I'm going to say that we are super excited to have you. You are the CEO and founder of the Upcycle project. I will let you introduce yourself and talk more about your foundation, and then I stop sharing, and then you can see if it works now. If you can take over and share your screen.
Everyone's so serious.
Oh, sorry. Are you guys on mute? Yeah, I was on mute. So I'm asking you, can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, great. Of course, my presentation just appeared. So let me just go find it again. Boom, there it is. Okay, great. And then we'll go through. Do you want me to go through it?
I think you can just click on the slides and then maybe just the slide that you're going to open YouTube, maybe just open that.
Perfect.
Just make sure we get the YouTube.
Let's see. Okay, and so there, I'm going to minimize. And minimize. Again, here we go. And here's our video. It's very informative and it's going to give you all of these great. And it's 3 minutes, 3:25. Yep, okay.
Awesome, all right.
I wish I could just hide it like this. So I don't have to, I'm just gonna put that like that, okay.
Gabby, you can tab over between windows. So if you put Command Tab, you can switch between the presentation and the browser without having to minimize them.
Oh, look at that. Ha! Learn something new every day. Cool. Okay, I'm trying to close on all these things and it's like, okay, great. I may or may not try that, but but it's gonna, but now that I know that that works.
Awesome. And then Gabby, if you want to stop sharing your screen, and then Yanni, I don't know if you want to quickly run through, because then you take over the slides, right? And you open up.
I'm gonna put it up now. Well, I think the next person is Michelle, no? After Gabby.
So yeah, I think it's just putting that slide if you want, but we don't need to put the DIY slide.
So do you want me to share it for Michelle or is?
Yeah, we don't need that, no worries. Because
No?
I feel like once Gabby's done, what we can do is say, because Gabby will be saying, you know, and with COVID, we changed our operations. Now we are doing masks. She's going to show some of the masks. And then she'll be like, yeah, and thanks so much, guys. Oh, or if Gabby, if you want, Gabby, you can be like, you can actually introduce Michelle saying, hey, but if you guys don't have, you know,
okay, that's a good idea.
Yeah, you can be like, you know, Michelle is going to teach you how to do one, and then Michelle, and then you take over. We just need to then put the screen on Michelle, Yanni.
Okay.
Do you know how to highlight her?
Yeah.
How do we do that?
So if you hover over her, either her name or her video, and you right click, I mean, you click on the little ellipsis, put spotlight video, and then it'll show her.
Perfect, all right. And then just let her know. So just be like, Michelle, you're on.
It tells me.
Yeah, and then Michelle, you go for it. The mask, you put the mask on, and then after you're done, you just say, and that's it. And then Yanni, you take over with the 6 feet. So it's up to you if you want to talk or if you want me to talk.
Yeah, I think
I'm going live now, guys.
so.
Okay.
I'll control the presentation while Michelle is on, and then we'll move over to this one if you want to mention this one.
All right, I'll mention this one, and then you take over for Miami Beach. And
Yanni, I'm gonna start broadcasting.
wait, just 1 second, Amanda.
Just a little bit, Amanda.
Yeah. So if you can stop your presentation. Yeah. So you will go, then Elena will go, then we go to Kahoot, and then that's it.
And then back to you.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right. So if you want to stop sharing, so I share my screen. All right. I'm going to stop just start sharing right now.
Flavia, you may want to rename yourself. You're still a City of Miami Beach.
Okay, I'm having a hard time seeing the chat. So whenever I ask the music, Betsy and Yanni, if you guys can help me out, like reading, that would be great.
All right, I'm gonna go broadcasting now.
Music licensing reimagined.
The greatest winner.
Artlist.io.
Your life, Flavia.
All right, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Sustainachella. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Flavia Toniali. I'm the Sustainability Manager with the city. Super excited to be here with you guys. We're going to be talking about textile recycling. And for the folks that don't know yet, we're going to be teaching you how to do your own masks. So super excited. All you need for today, it's 2 elastics, 2, and a piece of cloth, or a bandana, whatever you have at home, just bring it up, okay? And while we wait a few minutes for a couple more folks to join us, just wanted to start warming up our chat here. If you don't know where your chat box is, you look it down, it should be right in the middle, pop out, make sure you are chatting with everyone, including your panelists and everyone that is in the Zoom. And the question of today is what songs or bands have you been listening to that have been, uplifting songs or bands that you have been listening to? So let's see what we have in the chat. Oh yeah, we already have people saying.
So I want to take a moment to plug the Miami Beach Culture and Tourism Department. They have created a Spotify playlist where we're bringing in our cultural institutions and asking them to do a playlist every week. This week, we're focusing on the North Beach Bandshell. So we have some great tunes of bands that have played at the Bandshell. And in the next upcoming playlists, we're also going to include the New World Symphony, the Fillmore. So it's a great opportunity for residents and people who love Miami Beach to hear some music that is from your hometown. I'm gonna share the link now into the chat, but you can also access it for those on Facebook. Just go to Spotify and search for Miami Beach, North Beach Bandshell playlist.
Awesome, yeah, and I already see a lot of folks responding here, and also see some folks here from our sustainability committee. Just wanted to highlight them. I see Mike Gibaldi here, Luis Rodriguez. Let me know anybody else from the sustainability committee here. Yeah, Luis, awesome. Thank you so much for joining, guys. You guys are the best. All right. So guys, I think we are going to get started. Please keep sending. I think Beatles is definitely a big one. Everybody loves Beatles. But yeah, keep sending to us. We definitely can compile that, maybe come up with some really cool Sustainachella soundtrack. Who knows? Okay, so we are going to get started here. And let me move my slides. Okay, some housekeeping for the folks that are new to Zoom and new to Sustainachella. So we mute all your mics and disable your videos. This is to avoid any Zoom bombing while we have our panelists talking. You do have a Q&A box. So close to your comments, to the chat box, you have a Q&A. If you have any questions for the panelists, please send them out in the Q&A box. We'll have time for Q&A after the presentation. And also, please, let's keep chatting. Make sure you add everyone, all the panelists and attendees when you're sharing comments in the chat, all right? And here. So, Earth Month is almost gone. It's my favorite month, April, but we are extending Sustainachella throughout May. So super excited to share. Here it goes. These are some of the upcoming Sustainachellas that we are having for May. Please register, join us. We will also be sending our survey after this. We want to hear back from you guys, what topics you guys want us to bring. So please provide feedback, and let's get started. Before we started here with Gabby, I just want to thank our partners and also ask you guys to give me a warm welcome. We have two communities here with us today. We have West Palm Beach, and Elaine, our sustainability program coordinator from West Palm Beach, is here. Say hi, Elaine.
Hi, everyone.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us, Elaine. And we also have Jennifer, all the way from Nashville, Sustainability and Outreach Manager from Nashville. Say hi, Jennifer.
Hi, howdy y'all. Thanks for having us. We're so excited to be part of this conversation. And we do have a couple of cool sustainable fashion folks in our town. So some that I found are Nisolo, Abel, and Elizabeth Suzanne. I'll put them in the chat, but you should check those out. And Turnip Green Creative Reuse, which is an awesome local nonprofit that's doing a lot of upcycling as well, and diverted over 90,000 pounds of materials from the landfill last year. So can't wait to learn more, and so happy to be part of the conversation today. Thanks for having us.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much, Jennifer. And Miami Beach, welcome, both city of West Palm Beach and Nashville here with us today. Super excited to have their communities joining us too. And finally, Gabrielle Smith from the Upcycle Foundation. And here, let me move to this slide. Our beautiful Gabby is here today. And she's the CEO and founder of the Upcycle project and foundation. And I'll let Gabby do the introduction because I know she's going to be talking about her foundation during her presentation. So Gabby, I will pass it to you. Stop sharing my screen here so you can start sharing yours and you can start your presentation. And here
Perfect.
You go. Awesome.
Well, thank you guys for having me. This is such a treat. I think Sustainachella is a complete success and such a great idea. I'm so excited to present the Upcycle Foundation and the Upcycle Project to everybody. Like we saw in the previous slide, I am the founder of the Upcycle Project and Upcycle Foundation. It's a 501c3 nonprofit organization that focuses on raising awareness on sustainability and sustainable fashion by providing workshops, by doing upcycle projects with students, by doing really fun, fashionable events, but also most importantly, and what I'm going to present to you guys today, is that we are actually going to solve the problem by recycling textile into textile. And it's really fun. I have a really nice presentation and video for everybody to really learn about how we can do this. Kind of like with plastic, we can do so with our clothes. So it's awesome. And it's also, I'm very passionate about it, as you could probably tell. So the mission of the Upcycle Foundation is to really find creative circular solutions to transform textile waste into a valuable raw material for a more resourceful world. We have so many things that are available to us on a daily basis that sometimes we just waste. We want to be able to use the resources that we have on hand to be able to increase their value and make them into something different that we can also use. So we have, garbage in, something great out, not garbage in, garbage out. So we want to focus on creative circular solutions to have a more, circular economy world. So I have a 5-year-old who has been in his room really quietly, and I think he's going to make a small cameo. Here he comes. Say hi to everybody in Miami Beach and around the world. All right. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So that's the reality of the fact where we're living now. So great. So let's talk a little bit about the U.S. textile waste and why we really started this project, right? Fashion is one of the most polluting industries in the world, from waste creation, land usage, water pollution, etc. But we really wanted to focus and narrow down on the textile waste because it's something that we feel we can help solve. So the US alone generates around 25 billion pounds of post-consumer textile waste a year. To like really think about those numbers it's difficult to imagine. So what does that represent to each one of us in the United States? So that's around 70 pounds per person. Okay, so think about the biggest suitcase that you have, fill it up once a year with all your, your textile waste, and that's pretty much how much it fits, around 50 to 70 pounds each suitcase. So that's a good way to like think about how much waste we actually put into the garbage. Think your socks, that your dog ate your sock, or you can't find the matching pair, etc. So it's things that we don't necessarily always think about, and it adds up. Everything really adds up. So only 14% of that gets recycled, and that's where I had our aha moment and said, like, okay, why are we recycling so little? So we really had to learn a lot about textiles themselves. Why can I recycle a polyester shirt? Can I recycle it? Could I recycle a different textiles, right? So that was our stopping point to really learn about the textiles so we could actually recycle them. When we understand post-consumer waste, so everything that you buy that you no longer want to wear is post-consumer, and post-industrial is what comes out of the waste streams of the factories that make our clothes. A lot of them are not in the US, so we decided not to go on post-industrial waste because we don't have a lot of access to it. But what do we have access to, right? What kind of waste streams do we have access to? So being a Miami native now for 20 years, we have a big hotel industry, right? And the hotel prides itself on providing really nice linens for their guests to enjoy while they're being, while they're in their hotel. So they have a big turnover that's part of their business. But what happens to the textile waste from the hospitality industry? So we did our numbers, and it turns out that we have 5.5 billion pounds of textile waste that go into the US landfills every year from our hotels. This is in the whole US, not just South Florida. So this is a big number. So this presented an opportunity for us to be able to solve this problem and be able to recycle that textile. Why? Because it's all the same. And you're not going to have a printed neon flower towel, in a hotel. So it's good that they're usually, the same colors, and they're usually the same textiles, usually cotton or a blend of polyester and cotton. So that really helps us, right? So think about hotels and that they have like 3 or 4 sets per room. And one of those sets will go into the garbage every year. So then that way we can explain it to hotels, and it's just a fact of their business. And more so now, who knows what's going to happen. So anyway, this is all pre-pandemic, right? These are our plans. So in order to give the Upcycle Foundation a little bit of guidance from bigger organizations like the UN, we have looked into the Sustainable Development Goals. And if anybody's familiar with the Sustainable Development Goals, they offer a really easy way to commit to something that you feel that you can have a difference, make a difference in. For instance, there is life underwater. So if you're if you're into the ocean, or you can reduce plastic or different things, it gives you a lot of different objectives and a real clear action path of what you can do to be able to solve that problem that you find valuable or are passionate about. For us, at the Upcycle Foundation, we have industry, innovation, and infrastructure. So to build a resilient infrastructure to promote inclusive and sustainable industrialization and foster innovation, right? So, okay, who recycles textile in the States? Not very many people, let me tell you. So this is an opportunity for innovation. And so how can we innovate from our resource standpoint, okay? And then responsible consumption and production. So I am an avid sustainable fashion promoter, and I broke up with fast fashion 2 years ago, and I'm never going back. So I really believe that we must be more responsible with the way that we consume our clothes and everything else. And so in turn, what we produce will also have to be in line with what we consume. So then we have to create products that are good for the planet and good for the people, right? So that's really our value and where we stand. And that's what brought us to create Loop. Loop is a circular solution. It's a circular economy model. So if you think about the textile industry, is take, make, waste. You take from the environment, you make it with paying very little money for those who make our clothes in developing countries, unfortunately, mostly women. And then because the clothing is so inexpensive, we don't value it, and then we throw it away, right? That brings us to the problem. So what is Loop? What is a circular solution? So we take, we make, and we don't waste. We swoop it back up the chain so that we can create a new product out of that wasted material, right? So that's basically in a nutshell what we do. And after this, I'm going to show you a video that I find valuable so that we could put everything really together. So how does Loop work? So there's a business with textile waste. We do this right now with private schools that have uniforms, and hopefully soon with public schools who have uniforms as well, and hotels. So we contact that business, we tell them about our program, and then we collect them. We give them boxes or bags, whatever is easiest for them to collect the product, and then we pick it up. We sort it and we cut it because it has to be free of buttons, elastics, zippers, emblems, anything. So we really pride ourselves that these are not going to be resold into the secondary clothing market. That is a commitment that we make, because for us, the secondary clothing market is really kind of shifting from one landfill into another landfill in somewhere else, you know? So then we downcycle or upcycle the materials. If the material is a low-grade material, it will go into insulation and different industries where it's kind of hidden in between other textiles. And then upcycled, because we're gonna make it into new yarn that can make, you know, a textile product, such as this t-shirt, okay? So this t-shirt right here that I'm holding, and I wish you could touch it, it's really soft and nice. And it's 50% recycled plastic bottles and 50% recycled cotton. And so this t-shirt will re-enter the market into, you know, and a new consumer. But that's kind of hard to picture if you know, haven't seen a textile recycling plant. So I want to show you a video from one of our partners that does an amazing job doing this. So I hope you enjoy it. It's 3 minutes, so stay tuned. Okay. So how did you guys like that video? Hi. Let me see here. Everybody, you can see my screen because my presentation disappeared. There we go. So I hope everybody really liked that video. I find it to be extremely informative. Let me ask you guys something. I guess everybody can see the panelists on the top. Flavia, can you see the panelists on the top of the presentation or no?
Yeah, we can see it.
So should I hide you guys? So that you guys can see the actual presentation? I didn't realize until the video.
Oh no, we can see the presentation. It's all good.
Oh, okay, good, great, good to know.
Thanks, Gabby. An amazing video. Thank you so much for sharing. That was very nice.
I hope there's a lot of questions and different things that we can answer. So if people have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. So that brings us, let me see, I can't see. So joining the loop, right? So how does this whole program help anybody? Well, we feel that, and this is a very texty slide, so that it helps everybody's sustainability goals, because once you can divert any kind of waste that your organization has from the landfill, you know, you're doing a good thing, because like we just saw in the video, that reduces, you know, so many other resources that we have to use to create new products. We do a collecting schedule with everybody. Honestly, every single loop is really customized to every customer and customer or organization, really. And then we offer a certification of environmental activism as well, so that everybody can, you know, that we can celebrate what they're doing right and, you know, joining the loop. Also, we think that community is really, really important. So every time somebody joins the loop, whether it's a school or a hotel at this point, we have a community service ambassadorship program. We do a lot of awareness events. We educate the staff, because we feel that education is really where we need to focus on when building programs like this. So we go into the hotel and we'll train from the housekeeping staff to the top management, absolutely everybody, so that they understand. And, you know, it's a really simple conversation when you're, you know, somewhere and somebody tells you, oh yeah, but that's recycled, you know? And I think it's really great because it empowers people to tell them, to speak about what their organization is doing right, and it gives them a sense of pride. And of course, the sustainability goals. Everybody right now, I feel, has strong sustainability goals that they want to achieve, but they don't know how. And I think that Loop offers a really interesting way for people to divert their textile waste from landfill and, you know, continue to do that. Like we saw in the video, it offers a lot of different environmental benefits. Water consumption, so we don't have to farm any new cotton. So recycled cotton, you know, it doesn't have to be farmed. It just needs to be, you know, go through the loop. Chemical reduction, because we don't dye it with any chemicals. As you saw in the video, they mix different colored fibers together to achieve a desired color, which also gives us limitations. I'm going to show you, I have here like the yarn, what the yarn actually looks like. And it's, you know, it's kind of like a paint catalog. I don't know what it's called, but so, you know, you do have a lot of different colors, but you don't have all the colors of the rainbow like you would if you would be, you know, creating with chemical dyes, etc. We of course use less energy, divert waste, and recycled plastic bottles, because polyester is made out of plastic. So every plastic bottle that can be recycled back into polyester and blended into cotton. So we are diverting PET waste as well, which is awesome. This is our certification of environmental activism. So we have the Planet Protector, where we collect 0 to 1 ton of textile waste from your organization. A lot of the schools that we work with are Planet Protectors, And what's really great about working with schools is that, you know, when we put boxes around the schools, the kids read the boxes, and they have never realized that you can actually recycle their textiles. So they're like, "Hey, mom, look, you could recycle our shirts here," you know, in school. And I think that conversation is really powerful, especially in younger generations. And then we have Recycling Master, Conservation Agent, and Environmental Alliance. So these are four categories that we feel are important, and the more waste that we collect, obviously, the more points and things that you get. So if anybody wants to join the loop, please visit our website. Right now, the upcycleproject.org is being upcycled. So you can look at the upcyclefoundation.com, where we actually have a COVID-19 project going on with recycled t-shirts, right? So I'll tell you the story about that in a minute. Okay, so great. Gotta love 5-year-olds. Bless them. So what did we do with the t-shirts that we got donated? So we have a promotional materials company that donated more than 7,000 t-shirts that were printed with the wrong logo for Florida school. We had them sitting in storage at the beginning of March. We picked them up, you know, at the beginning of March. By March 21st, I woke up and I had a panic attack, and I said, okay, what are we gonna do with these t-shirts? You know, what's happening? We can't just leave them there for who knows how long. So we contacted different fashion designers, sustainable fashion designers that make their clothes here in the city. And I asked them a little bit about their seamstresses, what was happening with their orders, with their workforce. And of course, everything was completely paused. Their seamstresses were out of a job, and they didn't have sales to be able to provide jobs for them. So we partnered with a couple of them to be able to make these masks. And they have surgical pockets. They're really cool. And they're also completely and 100% upcycled. This is, you know, a little bit of the logo of the t-shirts. And, you know, so this is kind of how we've been able to pivot to create jobs and keep people safe. We've made around 1,500 masks already. We've donated around 400. So it's been kind of a whirlwind and a really fun project to work on, even though we're going through this like kind of crazy situation all together. But I know that you guys are going to show how to make your own homemade mats in case you know you can't get your own from us at the upcyclefoundation.com. I'm going to stop sharing this.
This is amazing. Your mats are amazing, Gabby. I love them. And Gabby, before we go to Michelle to do to learn how to do our own masks, we do have some questions here for you. So I just wanted to read out loud. We have a question. Can shoes, boots be recycled also, or just clothing?
So, yeah, okay. So short answer, yes, boots and shoes can be recycled. Can we do it at the Upcycle Foundation at this time? We cannot. Because our resources are very limited, we have to be very narrow in what we can recycle. That's why we focus on industry and the hospitality industry and the school uniform industry. But there is a US-based company that recycles sneakers. And I want to say, I Google it, recycle sneakers, and I think it's US recycled sneakers or something. And I think they're also based in Miami, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and we do, Gabby, City of Miami Beach. Yanni, if you have a slide on that later on, so stay tuned. It's coming soon. I have another one. What does it mean to break up with fast fashion? What is considered fast fashion?
What is fast fashion?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a great question. Okay, so fast fashion is, fast fashion is a store or a brand that sells products that are at a very discounted price at mass volumes and pay very little wages for the people who make their clothes. So a lot of fast fashion brands include Forever 21, ASOS, Sada, H&M, you know, and there's hundreds of thousands of them. They offer really good products at first. They lure you in because their stuff is really nice, but They have very little quality. So the stuff that you buy from them will last 1 or 2 washes and that's it. And you tend to buy them on impulse instead of on quality and to be able to buy something that you really, really, truly need. So breaking up with fast fashion means that now I ask myself different questions before I buy anything. One, who made my clothes? So is the company transparent about what and where they make their clothes? And if they are transparent, where do they make it? You know, because transparency offers us information to make better choices, right? So if somebody tells us that it's made in China and they don't know exactly what factory it's made in, then I know I don't want to buy from that shop because I don't know if the people who are making it are being abused or if they're working under really unsafe conditions, etc. So I now tend to buy things. Of course, budgets are always an issue. Fast fashion offers a very accessible product. So if you ever need to go to a fast fashion store, first I would go to like a thrift shop, a Goodwill. They have so many great things. Like the fast fashion store would be my very, 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 very last resort. Before you go in there, you can go to a thrift shop. You can borrow from your friends. You could do a lot of research about emerging brands, about brands in your local community. Doing all of that is about breaking up with fast fashion.
Awesome. We have more here too, Gabby. How many times can cotton be recycled?
That's a really good question. So, so recycled cotton is not 100% recycled cotton, right? So there's always a mix of virgin cotton. It's around 3 to 4% because the fibers do tend to, even in the wash, the fibers do tend to weaken. So once you recycle them, you do have to get a minimal amount of virgin cotton to strengthen the yarn.
Right. And how long does it take to create a single shirt, pant using recycled clothing?
So it's that's so funny because that takes no time at all. You know, we could do 500 shirts in a matter of a day, depending where you choose to do it. What takes a long time is collecting the textiles to be recycled. That takes quite a bit of time. That's why we've been doing this project for so long.
And Gabby, I know that you went through this during your presentation and the video too, but I don't know if you want to go a little bit in deep. They're asking how you separate the different materials. So
right now we separate them visually. Thankfully, everything has a care label. So the care label tells you exactly what kind of material it is. You can also feel different things, but we go by the care label. And that's why also we focus on very limited industries because they tend to use exactly the same type of blends and textiles.
Awesome. And what sustainable fashion tips would you recommend for people on a budget?
On a budget. So I did a big project with the Goodwill that I loved, and there's so many treasures to be found on all the thrift shops around our city, be it Goodwill or Salvation Army or just vintage shops around. I think that the secondhand clothing market is really powerful and it's very accessible. So that would be my first choice. Also, clothing swaps are amazing because, what you may not want or you see with different eyes, if I go to your closet, I may be like, Flavia, look how beautiful the shirt is. And you're like, oh my God, that shirt, I broke up with that guy with that shirt, and you're never going to wear that shirt again. But then it sits there on your closet. And you don't get rid of it. So it's weird. So your friend who obviously has no attachment to that shirt might wear it and enjoy it so much more. So I love clothing swaps. I think they're great and they're also free,
Awesome. Thank you so much, Gabby. I really appreciate it. And as we have to keep moving, guys, but I keep sending the questions. And then if we have time afterwards, we'll go over them with Gabby. So right now I'm going to pass to Michelle. And we're going to be highlighting Michelle. Thank you so much again, Gabby. You're amazing as always.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me. So
Thanks,
fun.
Gabby. Before we go over to Michelle, I want to just highlight that Michelle's going to be showing us all how to make masks at home. And in Miami Beach, we did open up our parks this week, and masks are required if you're going to be in the parks. Also, masks are required if you're going to be walking on the beach walk or the bay walk. If you want to stay safe, the best way to be out in public is with a mask on. So if you have any questions, you can check out more info on our website with updates on how different areas of the city will be opening up. But please make sure to keep your mask on. So to you, Michelle.
Alrighty, can you all hear me?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So my name is Michelle Rodriguez, and I'm with the Environment Sustainability Department with the City of Miami Beach. I hope you guys all grab the material that we need to make the DIY mask that Flavia mentioned earlier. I also wanted to let you know that we are going to be using this is optional. So you're first gonna grab your.
Oh, you're back. Let's try.
What? Oh, okay. Sorry about that. So you're gonna grab your. Can you hear me? I don't know. It's going in and out. You're gonna grab your piece of cloth and you're gonna fold it enough to cover your nose and your mouth, like this, so you can tuck it out before you start making it. And you're gonna grab 2 scrunchies or hair ties, whatever you want to call them. And you're gonna put one on one end, like that, and then the other hair tie on the other end. Once you do that, you're gonna fold it over, one end first, and then the other end, you're gonna put inside the folds of the other end, like this. So your mask on the inside is gonna have the folds, and you're gonna have the 2 hair ties on either end. Once you have that, I'm gonna bring it back up to my face. You can just put it on, like this. Sorry. Can you still hear me, even though I have it on?
Awesome. That was very quick. Wow, that's amazing.
And then we have the nylon, which you're just gonna put over your head. And that's it.
Awesome. So you can have a double mask. You can do the one.
The purpose of the nylon is that it pushes the mask up against your face for better coverage. So it could provide up to 90% blockage for small particles compared to just
Michelle,
a
maybe you
cloth
want to
mask.
take the mask out to talk to us. Here we go. Now we'll be able to hear you better.
So the purpose of the nylon, you could use the stocking. This is the top part of the stocking. If you use the legs, then it's too tight and you won't be able to put it over your head. But it provides extra protection to push the cloth mask over your face, so there's less gaps for particles to travel through. And you could also apply this to surgical masks for up to 90% more coverage.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Michelle. Thanks. I really
Awesome.
appreciate it. I don't know if you guys at home have any questions about the masks, but super easy. Took her less than 5 minutes, record time. Awesome, Michelle. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. And also, guys, think about other things you can use as masks. I stole my husband's fishing mask, which pretty much is just the size of a t-shirt, of a large t-shirt. And then you can just put it in and make your own mask. Here you go. Fishing mask. See? So a lot of stuff that you can do at home to do your own mask. Don't need really anything fancy, but yeah. So, and Yenny, if you want to go back to show our slides. So as Betsy mentioned, the city of Miami Beach, we are opening parks, and actually Miami-Dade County is opening not only parks, but also marinas and golf courses. So we want to make sure, one, that you have your mask always with you, but also that you understand what the 6 feet distance is, right? I think a lot of times we have hard like translating that. I'm always yelling at my friends, saying, hey, you have to stay 6 feet, 6 feet. And they're like, oh, what's 6 feet? So I'm going to go around the room and I'm going to ask everyone, what is 6 feet for them? Because, you know, so just make it easier. Yenny, I'm going to start with you. If you have your 6 feet there with you.
Yes, as you can see on the screen, it's equivalent to 4 cats. And to give you an idea of what that looks like, it's pretty much 4 of him So keep that in mind. He's about 18 inches in length. So that's a good indication for me.
Awesome, awesome. What about you, Jennifer? What is 6 feet for you?
Hey, well, I was thinking a lot of us are spending a lot of time in front of our laptops or computers. So if you probably have that emblazoned in your mind, the length of your laptop. So put about 5 laptops end to end, and that's about 6 feet.
Awesome, awesome. What about you, Elaine?
So about 1 leatherback sea turtle.
Wow, here we go. Pretty cool. Awesome. What about you, Gabby? Anything for your 6 feet?
Well, it's like 5 of my son. So he's 5, so put 5 of them together, 6 feet apart.
There we go. And Betsy, I don't know if you're still there. If you are, we would love to hear from you. And Michelle, I see you, so let's go to you. What is 6 feet to you?
So I'm always drinking water out of the aluminum water bottles that we have. So I was thinking about 9 or 10 of those water bottles.
Awesome, awesome. And I'm going to go with Dwayne Wade, guys. I think he's a little bit taller than that, but just picture Dwayne Wade laying down between you and your friend, and you're good to go. Awesome. All right, thanks so much, guys. Really appreciate it. And now I'm going to pass it to Yanni so she can talk a little bit more about what we are doing in Miami Beach when it comes to textile recycling.
Thanks, Flavia. I'm Yanni Pineda, the Senior Sustainability Coordinator with the City of Miami Beach. As you can see here, there's a list of different addresses, and these addresses are actually places where you can go and take your textiles to be recycled and repurposed. So what we have right now is the majority of our bins that you see in these areas are actually either the textiles are actually taken and donated to like thrift stores or Goodwill stores, or in the cases where textiles that are soiled are found within the bins, those textiles are then turned into different materials like AC insulation. So there's always going to be a second life for anything that you throw in there, and it does include rags. I saw somebody mention that they were looking for places to recycle rags. They also do accept shoes as well, so you can drop those off. The only one who's slightly different out of all these locations is the Green Waste Facility, which is a different system. The good thing about the other 5 is that through a partnership that we have with Charity Recycling, we've been able to divert 50,000 pounds of textiles from landfills since 2016. And one of the great things about this program is that every pound that is dropped off within our bins, we get 10 cents back, and it goes back to sustainability programs, and it helps us keep events such as this one, such as Sustainachella, in place. And so it's definitely a positive program to have, and I hope that all of you can take advantage of it. And of course, also use Gabby's program, because that's also a great option in the event that you don't want to drop things off here. So there's many ways that you can drop off your textiles, and this is a great opportunity for us to really make a difference. And now I'm going to turn it over to City of West Palm Beach. I know that we have Elaine here with us today. Elaine, do you want to start with what your city is doing?
Sure, thank you. So again, I'm Elaine with the City of West Palm Beach Office of Sustainability. I'm a sustainability program coordinator there. And I just wanted to highlight a great nonprofit that we have in our city, Resource Depot, and they take a lot of unwanted and excess materials, and they basically turn waste into wonder. That's part of their logo, that's part of their slogan. And they do a lot of great things. They work with students and children, and they actually have a really awesome program called Catwalk, and they take materials like even boxes, cookie bags, the fabric samples that you can get, even carpet samples, things like that, and they turn them into clothing, and they create these awesome masterpieces. So this is a really great resource in our city, and so if you're ever here, definitely check them out. I'll put their website in the chat box so you guys can look them up.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Elaine. And I think we are moving down here. All right, guys, if you guys don't have any questions for West Palm Beach or Miami Beach for their programs, we are going to move now to Kahoot time. The time that you've been waiting for. We all love Kahoot. So we can go to Kahoot and then we can always give a look at the Q&A again.
Awesome.
Oh,
Okay.
there is a question from Miami Beach. Where do your recycled textile go after collection?
So there's a couple of different places they go to, but we work with a third party with his charity recycling, and they have a list of different companies and organizations that they send everything to. So it's not just one location; it's various locations. Are there any other questions?
I think we can move to Kahoot, Jenny, and then if we can dedicate some minutes for Q&A towards the end if we have time.
Perfect. All right. So can you guys see my screen? It should still be up.
Yep.
Okay, awesome. So for those of you who haven't played Kahoot before, you're going to need your phone. I'm going to pull up a website which is going to provide you with a code to put in, and also you're going to choose your own nickname. So what we're going to do is we're going to give you a list of questions based on everything that you heard today, and you're going to get points based on whether your answer is correct and how fast you answer. At the end, the top 3 individuals are going to actually get a prize from us. So make sure you touch base with me after this, and we'll work on making sure that you get your prizes. So I'm going to switch over the screen to the website. 1 second. Okay. So let's get started. Let me make sure that I have the, perfect. You guys see it? Okay, so everybody start signing in. We'll give everyone a few minutes to get into the game, and then we'll get started.
These names that everybody's putting.
What was that?
I really like the names that everybody's putting out
Yeah,
there.
I like how creative everyone gets.
Yeah, I love it.
Oh, look at Turtle.
Getting people in.
Yeah, there is some repeated one. Some of the previous winners. Liz is there too.
Yeah, I think we have some Kahoot professionals here.
It will be
I
competitive.
know Les is one of them.
Purple Turtle. That's the other one. Yeah, here we go. Judy too. Judy was in the top last time.
Okay, so we'll get started. I think we have a good number of people. All right, everyone, so music time. All right, get ready. How many pounds of textiles go into US landfills per year?
Wow, the music is going lower too, Yenny. Wow.
Oop. Sorry about that. Can you hear it? Awesome, yes, so it's 25 billion. Most of you got it right. There's still a couple of you who didn't, but that's okay. You'll have more questions, so you can try again. All right, let's see who's at the top. And we have Mimi. Awesome. Okay, next question. Awesome, you guys did a lot better with that one. Yes, 70 pounds of textiles are actually discarded by a single person every year. So keep that in mind. And we have Cece at the top. All right, next one. What can you do to reduce the impact of textile waste? Awesome. Yep. There's many ways that you can actually recycle and repurpose your textiles. So we recommend considering all of these options when you reach that point in your clothes life cycle. And we have Michelle is on fire, and we still have Cece at the top. All right. Next question. Last one. True or false? 6 feet is the equivalent to an Olympic-sized pool. Awesome. I'm not sure who said true, but I think I don't think you guys have seen what an Olympic-sized pool looks like, but that's okay. All right, so let's see who the top 3 are. Ricky. Surfer, I think I know who that is.
Look at Cece. Awesome.
So those of you who won, I'm going to put in my email in the chat so you can reach out to me and we'll be in touch for your prize.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And I think, let me quickly go back. And guys, we do have a few minutes. I know that a lot of folks asked us questions for the panelists, you know, about how do they get into their field or what they're passionate about. So please feel free to send us a little bit more Q&A. Here, let me see. They're asking here if Miami Beach textile is tax deductible. No, it's not. Yenny, I don't know if you want to mention anything additional. Since we work with a third party, it goes through them, so we do not.
No, it's not tax deductible. The company that we work with is for profit. If you are looking for opportunities to donate clothes and also have it be tax deductible, I recommend that you drop them off at one of the Goodwill drop-off stations. That's another option for you if you have a lot of textiles and you need a tax deduction.
True, very true. All right, and then we have, does Upcycle Foundation work with individuals who have clothes that they want to donate, or just with large organizations and businesses?
So at the moment, that's great. We would love to be able to work with absolutely everybody, but we do focus on schools. So if Sarah, if you have children or you work at a place that has uniforms or, you know, those things we can recycle, because right now we can only recycle per material type. So if not, it would be too costly for us to be able to just recycle post-consumer goods.
Awesome. And Gabby, and there is another question. How do the greenhouse gas emissions produced by the recovery recycling process compare to simply landfilling? The person mentioned, I know the video mentioned solar power, which must offset some of that.
Yes, I saw that question. It's really important to know exactly how the benefits that recycled yarns do create. Right now, I can't tell you off the top of my head what the greenhouse gas emissions reduction is, but it's something that if you would email me, I could definitely find out for you, and we can go through every single type of reduction, resource reduction that it creates.
Awesome. And Stephanie is asking for you, Gabby, what about corporations? They keep uniforms on hand, and when they update their styles, they go into the trash. Do you work with companies to collect those?
Yes. So short answer, yes. We do. If you can reach out to me, that we could definitely work on targeting different companies that have uniforms. The program itself is extremely scalable because everybody who has the same kind of textile in the same colors can be recycled. So also, if anybody wants to babysit, I'm taking volunteers.
And Gabby, I know that you mentioned, because this is something actually that we've been talking about the city, about the uniforms, and Gabby actually mentioned that it's the whole process, how they recycle the uniform, it's very safe. So if you have logos on it, they take very proper care of the logos to make sure that everything is safe, all the information from the company is safe as well, right, Gabby?
Exactly. I think that's a really important point that you bring up. I'm sorry, I think I only heard like 40% of it. But yes, what we really do take pride on is to be able to make sure that your uniforms and your logos are not going to end up in a different country, worn by different people. Just the same as we did with the masks. There's no, we don't use the logo at all, in this particular case, you can still see it, but usually nothing. It's cut up and it's shredded. So absolutely safe.
Awesome. All right, and they're asking if it's the webinar is going to be shared. Yeah, it's going to be shared actually in our website. We are going to download it afterwards. So if you guys go to risingabove/Sustainachella, all our previous workshops are downloaded there, so you can share with friends, family. It's open to everyone. And again, guys, after we are going to be sending you a survey. Please share feedback with us, how we can improve, what topics we should be bringing, more questions that you might have for our panelists. And then, yeah, that's I think that's it. And Yenny, I don't know if you want to move on to the next slides. I don't see any more questions. Folks must be hungry. So I'll let you guys go for lunch right now. We do have a lot of upcoming events in May. So next Tuesday at noon, we are going to be talking about our bay. We're going to be talking about water quality in the bay, in and our oceans. We'll be having City of Miami with us. We'll also have representatives from Maui County and City of Miami Beach and the Waterkeeper. So stay tuned. Make sure you register for this one, and we'll finish again with love and gratitude. Sending you much love and gratitude for everything. Thank you so much, guys, and have a wonderful day. Thank you. And use
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Congratulations, guys. What a great webinar.
Great job. Oh my God, and I didn't thank all the panelists. What's wrong with me? I'm going crazy here. Thank you so much, Gabby, Jennifer, Elaine, and then of course our team, Yenny, Michelle, Alicia, and Betsy. Thank you so much, everyone. We really appreciate all your hard work and dedication. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you so much.
Bye, guys. Take care.